The observation deck of the Galactic Council's flagship hummed with tension, soft vibrations running through metallic flooring as the ship drifted above the luminous nebula. Space stretched endlessly beyond reinforced glass, an infinite tapestry of swirling starlight and shadow. Admiral Krelix adjusted his optical implants, letting their triple focus alignment bring distant star clusters into clarity, though his mind was elsewhere entirely. Beside him, Ambassador Thessa tapped her claws against a railing, the sharp clicks echoing her unease. It was a habit she'd gained since humanity joined the Coalition, an unsettling species whose capabilities no one seemed to fully understand. Their assignment today was supposed to be simple. Evaluate the Terran delegation's marksmanship as ordered by the Council. Straightforward, procedural, non-threatening. Except nothing involving humans had been non-threatening since the day they arrived. Below them, inside the Council's elite training facility, the human delegation stood grouped casually near the firing range. They didn't look like soldiers. No uniforms, no tactical gear, no ceremonial armor, just loose shirts, hoodies, jeans, and a mismatched assortment of footwear. Some even held drinks. The sight made Krelix's mandibles tense in irritation. He exchanged a wary glance with Thessa, whose violet eyes narrowed. "They look unprepared," she whispered. "More than unprepared," Krelix muttered. "They look unaware." Then his voice boomed over the comm system. "Commander Reeves," he called, his tone sharp. "Please designate your marksman for evaluation." Commander Marcus Reeves looked up with the kind of effortless confidence that irritated nearly every alien diplomat. Humans wore emotions openly, but Reeves wore smugness like armor. He smiled a relaxed, utterly calm expression and replied, "That's the thing, Admiral. We don't really have specialists." The observation deck fell silent. Thessa's claws froze mid-tap. "Explain," Krelix demanded. Reeves shrugged casually, his voice carrying to the speakers with infuriating amusement. "Pick any civilian from the group." Then, as though stating the most common fact in the universe, "They don't miss." Thessa leaned forward, her eyes narrowing into slits. "You're joking," she said flatly. "Nope." Reeves smirked. "Pick anyone." Krelix's twin hearts fluttered in confusion. This was absurd, impossible, reckless. Yet Reeves stood confidently, as if inviting the universe to prove him wrong. Krelix turned his gaze back to the humans below. Ordinary, relaxed, unaware of the monumental challenge ahead. He scanned them one by one, searching for telltale signs of genetic modification, hidden augmentations, specialized posture. Instead, he saw people chatting, stretching, or looking mildly bored. Finally, his gaze landed on a woman near the back. A grandmotherly figure in a soft blue top, gray hair pulled back. She held a drink and laughed quietly with a companion. "Her?" Reeves followed Krelix's gaze and clapped his hands. "Betty, you're up." The woman nearly choked on her drink, eyes widening. "Me? Marcus, what in the—" "Yes, you," Reeves insisted, utterly unfazed. "They want a marksman. Tag, you're it." Betty sighed dramatically, handing her drink to a nearby teen. "Fine, but if I mess this up, it's on you, Marcus." "Betty," Reeves called after her, "you literally can't." She ignored him. The simulation powered on around her. Holograms flickered. Mechanical whirring filled the air. Targets began forming, some stationary, others drifting unpredictably, and some moving faster than the eye could track. It was a course designed to break elite soldiers. Betty casually adjusted her stance. Krelix felt something shift in the room, anticipation laced with dread. The first target appeared, a static circle 800 meters away. Betty lifted the M4 rifle effortlessly, as if she'd held 1,000 like in her lifetime. Her posture was relaxed, her breathing calm. She sighted down the weapon. One breath in, one breath out. A single thunderous crack echoed. The target vanished, the hit marker flashing red. Bullseye. Krelix froze. He replayed the feed. No tremor, no hesitation, no correction. Perfect. Impossible. "Lucky shot," Thessa muttered, but even her voice wavered. "First one always is." Reeves said cheerfully, "Betty, keep going." A second target materialized, this time gliding laterally at extreme speed. Betty didn't wait. Crack. Perfect hit. A third target burst into existence behind an obstruction. Crack. Perfect. Then a cluster of targets erupted across the range, overlapping, crossing trajectories, designed to overwhelm neural pathways. Betty rotated gently, fired 3 rounds, and vaporized them faster than Krelix could process. She didn't miss. Not once. The observation room fell into stunned silence. Krelix felt his throat constrict. A civilian, one who looked like she should be baking cookies for grandchildren, was performing like a master assassin engineered in a laboratory. Worse than that, better. Reeves stepped forward, expression softening into something more serious. "Admiral," he said, gesturing to Betty, "this is baseline humanity." Krelix's eyes widened. "Baseline? Yes. Average. Normal. Betty isn't special. No augmentations. No elite training. Just human." Reeves clasped his hands behind his back. Humans evolved differently from most species. While other creatures hid or hunted in packs, we practiced something else: pursuit and precision. We chased prey across continents. We learned to throw projectiles accurately enough to kill at distance. Our ancestors survived because they could hit moving targets. We had to. Miss and you starved. Betty hit another 3 targets simultaneously. Reeves continued, "Our brains are wired to predict motion, calculate trajectories, and strike moving objects. It's instinctive. A human doesn't need training to aim. They need training to aim better." Thessa whispered, almost reverently, "A species of apex marksman." Reeves nodded. Suddenly, alarm sirens blared through the flagship. Every console lit crimson. The Kryn hive was attacking, one of the most aggressive species in the galaxy. The Kryn were notorious for their brutality and swarm tactics. Outer territories were already falling. Communications were failing. The invasion was swift and devastating. "We need reinforcements now." Thessa snapped. Reeves straightened. "Humanity's fleet is ready. We may not be your traditional soldiers, but we have something your armies don't." Krelix swallowed hard. "Precision?" Reeves nodded. "Let us help." The council hesitated, but the choice was clear. Humanity was mobilized. The Terran fleet surged into hyperspace. Dozens of human ships emerged near the Kryn hive's forward stronghold. Krelix watched from the tactical bridge, heart twisting with fear and awe. Human ships moved like no vessels he'd ever seen. Tight maneuvering, perfect synchronization, firing patterns so deliberate they seemed scripted. Every missile found its mark. Every laser strike hit critical infrastructure. Kryn weapons were neutralized before firing cycles completed. Humans didn't waste shots. They didn't fire for intimidation. They fired to end the threat. Within hours, the Kryn hive's stronghold was silent. And then humanity did something no species expected. They rebuilt. Human medics descended onto Kryn territory with the same precision they used to destroy. Their hands moved fast, steady, efficient, closing wounds, stabilizing injured Kryn soldiers, offering aid without hesitation. Human engineers deployed ceramic scaffolding, rebuilt shattered power stations, and restored life support systems. The Kryn, expecting annihilation, instead received compassion so swift it startled them. Reeves stood beside Krelix as reconstruction efforts unfolded. "See, Admiral," he said softly, "precision isn't just for killing. It's for healing, for building, for choosing the right target, not just firing because we can." Krelix watched in silence as Betty, still in her blue top, helped a wounded Kryn child reattach a displaced exoskeletal plate, her hand steady and sure. Weeks passed. The council reconvened. Humanity's reputation had transformed. Fear lingered, yes, but so did respect. Humanity was dangerous, powerful, unmatched in accuracy, yet capable of restraint no one could have imagined. Krelix and Thessa stood together, gazing out at Earth, its blue oceans glimmering softly in orbit's dark embrace. "Humans are dangerous," Thessa whispered, "but they choose restraint, and that makes them something else entirely." Krelix nodded slowly. "Precision isn't just a weapon. It's a responsibility," Thessa finished. Humanity had proven itself the galaxy's most terrifying and most restrained species. And now the galaxy waited breathless to see what humanity would aim for next. Peace? Or something far more dangerous? Only time would tell. The galaxy held its breath, but on the fringes of council space, something else was beginning to stir. Weeks after the Kryn hive defeat, the council believed the danger had passed. Krelix, however, felt a persistent unease in the back of his mind. It wasn't the humans themselves that troubled him now. It was the galaxy's reaction to them. Word of humanity's victory spread faster than any official report. Worlds whispered of Terran precision, of civilians who could outshoot trained warriors, of fleets that could shatter an enemy without wasting a single shot. And as fear grew, so did opportunity for those willing to exploit it. Deep within the shaded corridors of the Council headquarters, Krellix found himself reviewing encrypted transmissions intercepted from the Cart Dominion, a secretive empire known for their manipulation and propaganda. Their latest broadcast chilled him. We have found the weapon the humans fear most: themselves. The Dominion was planning something, an attempt not to fight humanity directly, but to twist fear into action, to provoke the rest of the galaxy into uniting against Earth before Terra's influence grew too strong. Krellix deactivated the terminal, mandibles tensing. Fear was always the seed of war, and humans, for all their restraint, were still new to the galaxy. A single spark of panic could bring billions into conflict. He found Dessa in the diplomatic chamber, standing before a hologram of Earth. Her 4 eyes flicked toward him as he entered. "You saw the Dominion message," she guessed. Krellix nodded. "They are trying to turn the galaxy against the Terrans." Dessa exhaled sharply, her claws tapping the floor. "And they will succeed if we do not act. The Council is afraid. Krellix, they see what the humans can do and wonder if peace will last." Krellix hesitated. "Do you believe it will?" She gave him a long, measured look. "I believe humanity has made a choice. But choices can be pushed, manipulated." Her gaze sharpened. "We must warn Commander Reeves." When they reached the Terran embassy, a sleek structure surrounded by alien architecture, Reeves was already waiting for them, arms crossed, expression grim. "Let me guess," he said. "The Cart Dominion?" Krellix blinked, surprised. "How did you know?" "Because they've been poking our satellites for days." Reeves motioned them inside. And because fear always makes empires stupid. Inside the briefing room stood Betty, the civilian who had shocked the Council weeks ago. She was sipping tea, her posture relaxed, but her eyes tracked everyone who entered. Krellix found it almost unsettling how such an unassuming figure had become a symbol, the embodiment of Earth's terrifying precision. Thessa wasted no time. The Dominion wants to frame humanity as a threat. They plan to falsify evidence, manufacture an attack, and blame it on Earth. If the Council believes it, our alliance collapses. Reeves scratched his chin. "So they want a galactic war with us at the center." Betty raised an eyebrow. "Idiots." Reeves smirked. "Pretty much." Krellix leaned forward. "If they succeed, the galaxy may unite against humanity. Even with your abilities, the cost would be catastrophic." Reeves nodded slowly. "Then we need to stop them before they get started." The room fell silent, tension coiling in the air. Then Betty set down her tea, the soft clink echoing loudly. "So," she said, "who are we shooting?" Thessa froze. Krellix pinched the bridge of his nasal ridge. Reeves burst out laughing. "No shooting yet, Betty." Reeves wiped a tear of amusement. "First, we gather proof. Then we expose them to the Council. If we show the truth, we cut off their plan before it begins." The next days moved in a blur. Humanity's intelligence networks, once underestimated by the Council, unfolded across the stars with startling efficiency. Terran analysts traced encrypted Dominion signals, tracked false flag operations, and intercepted fabricated footage meant to depict human fleets destroying civilian stations. But the Dominion was clever. They had already deployed a disguised vessel, painted in Terran colors, its weapons modified to match human signatures. It was en route to destroy a peaceful research colony. One attack, one massacre, and the galaxy would turn. When the alert came, Krellix was in the Terran command center, surrounded by screens and officers moving with remarkable coordination. Reeves stood over the holotable, jaw clenched. "They're going to attack in minutes," Reeves said. "If they destroy that colony, we lose everything." Thessa turned to him sharply. "Can your ships reach them in time?" Reeves hesitated. "No." Betty stepped forward. "Then we don't send ships." Before Krellix could ask what she meant, the lights dimmed and a new figure entered. Lieutenant Hannah Park, a human drone specialist. She carried a metal case, and when she opened it, Krellix felt his heart stutter. Inside were 3 compact launch drones, sleek and polished. "Long-range autonomous interceptors," Park said. "Unguided shot accuracy, 0.003% margin of error." Krellix stared. "Unguided? At that distance?" Betty grinned. "Humanity doesn't miss, remember?" The drones were launched. 3 streaks of silver cut through the void, crossing distances Krellix had once believed impossible. The Dominion ship fired on the colony, its weapons blazing, but the drones adjusted course with microscopic precision. 3 flashes. Then the Dominion ship exploded silently, fragments scattering harmlessly. The colony was untouched. Silence fell in the command center. Krelix exhaled, his legs weak. You saved them from halfway across the star system. Reeves shook his head. No, humanity saved itself. If that attack succeeded, the galaxy would have drowned in blood. Thessa spoke softly. We must bring this evidence to the Council immediately. And they did. When the Council saw the Dominion's plot lay bare, when they saw humanity intercept the attack with impossible precision, the tone of the galaxy shifted. Fear didn't vanish. But something new grew beside it. Respect. Krelix stood once more on the observation deck, looking out at the stars. Humanity had shown the galaxy what they were capable of, but more importantly, what they chose to be. Thessa stepped beside him. So, Krelix, do you still fear them? He considered the question carefully. Yes, he said at last. But now, I fear what the galaxy might become without them. And far below, in the Terran embassy, Betty sipped her tea again. Well, she murmured, guess we're aiming for peace after all.